What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. I want to give a huge shout out to Tribe 9 and their marketing team, as well as Akatsuki Games, for sponsoring this video and enabling me to bring it to your awareness. We got a lot talked about today. They dropped a new update, version 1.1, and they've got some new story content as well as some new boss fights. They have some of the best boss fights in the entirety of the space, in my personal opinion. They've got some new areas to explore, tons of content to do, and I want to highlight all of those things and what they entail so that you can have that information available. But I also just want you guys to know I'm a shill for this game. I think this game is criminally underrated, and I also think a lot of people looked at it from a surface level without getting to see what's below the surface. I've been playing this game for a couple of hours, in fact, at first, and I thought I had it figured out. And then I took an even deeper dive and realized I understood nothing. The combat is deeper than I thought it was, as well as the boss fights. Man, the boss fights are just insane in this game with such intricate mechanical depth to them. It's not just like rotations like it is in a lot of these games. It's more than that. It's learn the patterns of the fights. Oh, if you're not paying attention to that telegraphic move, you might get KO'd. You might get one tapped, you might have to retry a couple of times. It's beautiful. But before we get into that, that's going to be later on in the video. Let's go ahead and talk about what the update has to offer. And most importantly, if you like what you see, don't forget to click the link down below in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section to download Tribe 9. Trust me, if you get to the game and you really get to experience it for what it is, you won't regret it. So starting off with the story update in version 1.1, you're going to be going to a new city, new area to explore by the name of Neo-Chiyoda City. One of the most impressive things about Tribe 9 is, without a shadow of a doubt, the story presentation. When you see cutscenes in this game, they are top of the line, high quality, very pristine. The visuals are quite stunning, and that goes for the 3D character models as well. 3D character models have some of, if not the best, character expression and body language in the space, bar none. It is absolutely immaculate. You're able to convey their sentiments so well just by looking at their facial expressions and their body language as you're reading the dialogue. And one of the weaknesses in the gacha space, without a shadow of a doubt, is consuming dialogue, because it's so similar to just reading a book. In fact, you might as well be reading a book. But thankfully, in Tribe 9, when you're consuming this dialogue, the last thing you got to worry about is the presentation. They do a great job with their presentation. And then you have that nostalgia feel with the 8-bit pixel theme behind you with the retro style. It's very nostalgic. It's like a classic JRPG turn-based game. It's certainly got a nice charm to it. Anyways, continuing on with the story, one of the main characters you're going to learn about, as well as their backstory, is Q, which, by the way, that's my favorite character in this game. Bro's got the Giga Chad, super edgy, always aura maxing. So I look forward to learning about him. There's two new characters that are coming with this update. One of them's out already. We'll go ahead and start off with her, actually. Her name is Hinagiku Akiba, and she's got some lovely, massive mech arms, right? She's a maid who looks gorgeous, and then she's got some massive mech arms. So if you're one of those people who loves that kind of character, you might want to check her out. Her kit playstyle is quite simplistic, honestly. She's got a counter puncher playstyle. You can charge her punch up, and while it's charged, if you get hit, you can quite literally deflect the damage and counter punch in the process. And then she's got this insanely broken ultimate that once she pops it, she just debuffs the entire field for a 30% defensive shred, which is insanely strong for pretty much any team in the game. Also, bear in mind, both her, Q, and one of the 2-star characters, they all have skins integrated into the battle pass. I'll show them off. They look incredible. And then the second half of this version 1.1 update, we've got a ninja coming, boys. Oh, listen here, I'm a simple weeb. You got a ninja coming, I am securing it at all cost, and he looks sick. Oh man, he looks so cool. I'm just in love with the art style. All right, it's the same people behind Danganronpa. That art medium that they go for is such a unique aesthetic and very appealing to my eye, at least. I want to go ahead and show off the skins for you guys, but before we jump into that, they got 2 launch incentives, login bonuses. For the next 7 days, you'll get 10 standard pulls just by simply logging in, and then you'll get another 10 pulls just by logging in for the limited banner. On top of that, we've got a couple of ongoing events, the Luck Phantasma, as well as the chapter story. You get another 600, which is 5 more pulls for the limited banner just by completing the story. Now, my boy Q. First of all, if I want to show you what he looks like in his base form, which honestly, I think he, like I said, he looks completely sick just with his base outfit. Bro has way too much drip and aura, bro. And then you've got your outfits. It's another thing that they do in Tribe 9 where you can like swap outfits on the characters and stuff. Now, when you go into the battle pass, and of course this is purchased, but dude, there's nobody is stopping me from getting this freaking Q skin right here, bro. This is Q once you get the skin. Oh my God. I can't wait to get it, boys. And then you've got this little guy, which I'll be honest, I don't really care for him. It's not my style. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. And then this is the character that's being on the limited banner right now, being promoted. I think she looks sick too and hot. So yeah, that is going to be her costume with the freaking mech arms. I like how they have the full-blown rotation too, so you can get a good admiration of the entire skin. Which, by the way, I would just like to say, guys, I get that it's a battle pass purchase, but man, giving 3 skins inside of the battle pass is really nice. You also get this, which is a broken equip piece. It's called a tension piece. It's part of their build system, and it's got crit rate built inside of there, maxed out 30%. If you do the whole battle pass, you get the full refinement of it, which is really nice. This is like one of the better battle passes out there. Like, for instance, one of the things that I was impressed by is the limited currency, which a lot of times in gacha games is on the paid portion, is actually just on the free portion of this battle pass. So you get 100 all the way up. If you count it all the way up, you get 1,400 in total when you finish the free portion of the battle pass out entirely, which amounts to about almost 12 pulls, completely free. You also get these little boxes. They're called wonder boxes, and they're RNG chances of you getting skins, which, another thing, just blew my socks off. You have a chance of getting freaking skins, man. I was just like, dude, what is this, man? I've never seen this before. Like, they got creative with their battle pass on a cosmetic sense, on a limited banner sense, that I can just truly appreciate, man. I mean, just look at it. You have a chance of getting these chrome colorations of all the skins that they're offering for these characters, which I just think is really cool. Next up, I want to go over the brand new character, Hinagiku Akiba's kit and how it functions, as well as some tips and tricks so that you can know what to do if you should choose to acquire her. So Akiba has this rocket punch where you're able to counter as soon as you get hit in the middle of the animation. And she works kind of like a tank. Her ult is a massive taunt to everyone out on the field, and it also applies a 30% defensive shred, which is really broken, which means you can put her on any team, treat her as a tank, and then everybody else gets access to this 30% defensive shred. And you know what's cool? The ult only costs 1 meter up top, just 1. And so the idea here is to have another character on the team that hits hard with their ult so that you can then chain their ult into hers after the attention seeking. And then you get that 30% defensive shred. I'll go ahead and show you. We're gonna go ahead and pop this. And now I'm taunting the other people. All right, so now they're gonna hit me. And then I counter, right? And then we go into the E. It's really nice. And like I said, it only takes up 1 meter, so everybody's able to still pop off. She's amazing team player. So look, enemy arrival, right? We're gonna go to the middle immediately, pop this ult. Now they're gonna focus me. Yep. Oh, okay, I got popped. That was my fault. I counter it there, and then we're gonna do this. They're gonna try to attack me again. Boom, and then full counter. Oh, sometimes you miss with her. That is kind of annoying. But the other thing is, as you're doing all of these different moves, you fill up that pink meter, and that pink meter hits like a bus. So now my pink meter is up. That means I can do my my Q, which is my strategy skill. So watch this. Look at that. Ridiculous amount of break damage, as well as a decent amount of regular damage. And so that's pretty much how she functions. She's really team synergistic, honestly. You pretty much want to try and go for these right here, and when they hit you, and honestly, you don't have to do that. Sometimes you can just charge it up and just punch somebody in the chin, which is great as well. I think we got an elite coming. We got a full EX meter here, so I'm about to show y'all what I do. So I do this, right? And then we immediately go into a follow-up ult because she only uses 1 meter, and everybody now has 30% defensive shred on their heads. Right, and so if you can get somebody that's got a lot of AoE damage, you can do a ton of damage with that combo, which is crazy. And see, I'm still countering this dude every time while everybody's just molding him. good break damage, tanking the team, defensive shred, absolute monster of a unit, honestly. And that's her little, that's her finish afterwards. I love her. I love how she looks. I'm actually looking forward to getting her skin because she looks good in that skin. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is going to be her innate kit regarding her potential. This is an extended system that you won't see at the beginning of Tribe 9. You got to progress through the game and then you unlock this, which is a whole new layer of a build system, goals, and like theory crafting, which is so cool. And I didn't realize that you can't even fill up every single one of these, which means you have to decide how you want to build the characters. And what's cool about this is every character has one of two ways you can play them. Some of them have a tank build and then some of them have a bursty build. When I'm sitting here looking at her, it literally pertains to which passive skill you want to go for. Now, maybe you go for both, but that kind of usually scuffs the build you're going for. But passive skill 1 increases the damage of a fully charged primary attack. That's that freaking rocket punch, charge up, whoosh, right? But then passive skill 2 says after executing the Akiba Kenjutsu, you're going to deal AoE. So if you want to make her more of an AoE person, you can do that as well. But what I like about this game is all of this synergistically ties into your team building. I found this out the other day when I was playing with this girl. I was on stream the other day and I was looking at her kit and I was like, wait, hold on. She has 2 different passives. She's got a passive that doesn't let you build up her heat easily, but it increases her ultimate damage in the process by a whopping 50%, then 100%, to where you're nuking with this girl. All you're gonna do is just pop ults with her, right? That's pretty much it. But on the other end of the spectrum, you could say, no, I like using her enhanced skill because it hits like a truck. So you're gonna refund the points of that ultimate, which you can refund your points. That's what another thing I like, because you have to point them into these individual traits here. That's why I said it's part of the strategizing. So if you don't like that nuke playstyle, then instead you can come over here to the passive skill expansion where you get more heat generated, and now it's more of an enhanced skill playstyle instead of a pop the ult and spam the ult playstyle, right? So depending on the team, you might be using your tension meter to spam ult with her, or you might be using your tension meter to spam ult with somebody else while doing damage with her enhanced skill. That layer of depth blew my mind away because I didn't even know that existed in the game because they don't show it until you get to the deeper layers of it. And so, yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with this. Anyways, once you figure out the playstyle you're going for with these kind of characters, what you're going to do next is you're going to then come over here and obviously start putting in those pieces that you need to make that playstyle function. Case in point, when I was explaining to you with her, if I was going for an ult build, then I'm gonna go for like crit damage, attack percent, ultimate increase, and then I'm gonna look for the character specific perks on the pieces. This is part of the RNG grind of Tribe 9. You can get rare pieces, but then there's a RNG where you want to get the piece with their particular ability. They have inherent abilities placed inside of builds, which I like this. This is cool. So this gives you that motivation to go out and grind for gear, and hopefully you get the right piece with the right substats with the signature person on there as well to like enhance their current abilities. Let me give you an example right here. If we come over here to her kit, you can get like a set piece on a build of your armor that will raise this up by 1 point, right? Or raise this up by 1 point. That's a part of the farm. That's a part of the replayable loop. So there's your build grind there. And then who do you put on the team? You can put a healer on the team, right? Which would be like my girl right here. She's great. And then when I saw the other day, somebody put me on game in chat. This girl has a ability that quite literally batteries your team's tension gauge. And that way, if you're trying to go for a bursty build, well, you just put all your points into this. And now every time she does a follow-up attack, a chain attack, she's going to give the team 30 tension recharge increase. And so here's our battery character, right? Again, if you're going for a bursty build playstyle, that's a good build option for you to go for, which, by the way, that's just one of many different ways to cook up team compositions in this game. It's fun. I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing, guys. When I played this game at first, the first thing I thought was, wow, only 3 pieces of armor. That's it. This wasn't even existing. This wasn't even a panel. So I was like, 3 pieces of armor. Okay, not really much depth to the game. That's because they just don't reveal it until you progress. It's like they're trying to get you, I guess they're not trying to overburden you with all the things that you can do build-wise in this game. They want you to learn it first, and then they slowly trickle it in. It's a common thing you see in the gacha games, honestly. But there's one more final piece to the build puzzle, and that's your tension card system, which, by the way, represents your entire team. This is pretty much armor you put on for your entire team's play style and the idea you have in mind for how it's going to function. So we come over here and we have a card that grants us unity as soon as we enter battle. And then you come over here to this card. This card gives me increased crit rate and increased defense. But if I have unity procced, it makes that 2 times the efficacy. There's all kinds of ways for you to cook up. There's a lot of different cards, purple cards, and then there's the gold cards, which is the highest rarity. But some of these freaking blue cards, which are the low tier cards, got some banger value in them. Case in point, that one just gives you unity for free. So I just wanted to convey all that. Might have been a bit of a yap, but it was made to paint the picture of how much depth can go into the build system before you even go into combat. Now I want to talk to you guys about these boss fights. I think the boss fights in Tribe 9, nobody really knows about, because I think if you guys did, especially in my community, you'd be playing the game. The boss fights, I am going to go out on a limb here. I understand the video sponsored. I think it's the uncontested best boss fights in the space. This is the one game where I played it and I was like, wait a minute. This isn't just rotations with your characters, you know, hit them, break the shield, transition between the characters. That's pretty much it. Ignore the mechanics. No, to the contrary, you have to learn these bosses' mechanics or you will get freaking clapped. There was this one elite mini boss I was fighting, chasing me around the map like a goddamn butcher from Diablo. It just says, warning, warning, you're just chilling, right? And then this thing just pulls up on you. Freaking mini boss. I fought this thing for like 30 minutes because I kept getting my cheeks clapped. I had to learn its patterns. I felt like I was playing a Souls game for a bit. And it really broadened my scope for this game. I was like, hold on, bro, what the fuck? This game keeps catching me off guard. I know I sound like I'm glazing. I am low-key a shield for this game. I admit it. I'm a shield for Tribe 9. I think it's criminally underrated. Purely because of those boss fights. They're so fun, and there's a lot of them. I haven't even gotten to all of them yet. They put more out in Chapter 3. I'm excited to get to those. But the shark fight, when I very first got this game, I was sponsored a while back, and everybody was no life in the game, I guess. They got to this fight, and they were like, Smack, you got to try it. I finally got to the shark fight, and it blew me away. It had mechanics in there that enabled you to have strategy and pay attention. This dude would like shoot balls out, right? And the first time he did this, I didn't know I was supposed to like lead the shark into the ball to swallow it and then stun him for free damage. I didn't do anything, so I just kept welling him like a meathead. And what ended up happening is bro did a one-shot mechanic, wiped the whole freaking field. I was like, that's beautiful. That's great. That's what we need in this space, this type of stuff. A lot of their boss fights have multiple mechanics like this. This shark went underground and the music went flat. I couldn't hear anything. It was just complete silence. And then out of the blue, right before he comes up, the screen just goes, warning, warning. And bro comes out of the ground and just claps your cheeks. I was just like, bro, they are cooking hard with these fights. Hold up, bro. Tribe 9 is a sleeper. I can't wait to try the rest of them. But this was the element of the game I think people didn't get to see because it's below surface level. And you don't really get to see the beauty of it until you really give the game a shot and get to the latter half of it. In the beginning, it's just teaching you how to play it because it's got a bit of a different combat system, right? The tension phase up there, like a fighting game, paired with the dodging, a bit of a slower, weighty feel to its moves as compared to the action hack and slash you guys play in the mainstream space. And so some of those elements take a bit of adjusting to grasp how it truly functions. And then that paired with the build system, once you get to a certain point, then you go, oh, now I understand this game and how it works. And now I have a deeper appreciation for this game. Ultimately, I hope you guys ended up enjoying this video because it's an honor to be sponsored by a game that I actually really liked playing. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know we're playing it going forward. I already put a tweet out. Saying I'm playing this game going forward. Scout's honor. So you can look forward to the streams on it. You can look forward to some content on it. I just wanted to support it because I think it's not getting the love that it deserves. And yeah, it deserves more attention. That's going to wrap up this video. Once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to their marketing team for sponsoring this video and enabling me to bring it to your awareness. If you want to give it a shot, click the link down below in the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section, and you'll be able to download the game from there. Thanks again. Peace, love, and happiness. I'm out.